Okay, so we're here today with Tracey Burnett. So just to let everyone know, I'm Sean Rucker. I'm the owner of SportBike Chic. It's a motorcycle apparel line for women. I started the business a few years ago, August in 2016. And the whole purpose was really to bring more options for women motorcyclists, give them safe riding apparel that's comfortable, but yet still cute and stylish. So a lot of our products are available with armored padding that's included for the shoulders and back. Also, we have our fabulous jeans that are available. But one of the things I wanted to do is actually today is step outside of that whole selling stuff thing and just kind of bring you a little bit more to the motorcycle community aspect. So today we have with us Tracey Burnett. She's one of the founders of B.U.D'S. So B.U.D'S is actually a motorcycle organization that we've kind of partnered with in the past few years to really just promote motorcycle safety awareness and really start to just really give back to the community, but in a different way. So I'm not going to steal Tracey's thunder at all, but I will start to introduce her a little bit and just I'm just going to let her take it as a matter of fact. Tracey, tell me about yourself and tell me how B.U.D'S started, okay?
Oh, okay, absolutely. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Basically, I'm Tracey Burnett, and I am one of the co-founders or founder of the B.U.D'S Foundation, Bikers United to Defend Driving Safely. And really just a little bit about B.U.D'S. It was an organization that got started in 2011, started when a couple of community supporters and motorcyclists and family members of a Marine by the name of Marcellus Farmer, affectionately known as B.U.D'S, lost his life to a motorcycle accident that involved several other vehicles. And less than about a month later, the organization was founded to try to support other families who might have experienced such incident, loss, and accidents, at the same time advocating for awareness and safety on the roads and in the communities. And B.U.D'S Foundation has done that through several projects since the 2011 launch. And we are pretty much still supporting families and injured riders and others in the community at this time. It's a great company. There's many that are similar, but I would say there's nothing like being a part of volunteering with this organization, especially when it comes to reaching out and being a voice for others.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's really important. I know a few years back, I got into a pretty bad motorcycle accident. Now that I think about it, compared to some of the things I've seen, it hasn't been horrible. I've been absolutely blessed, but I know the impact of having, obviously, whether it's financial aid or financial support or just emotional support when you're going through some of those things. What are some of the things that B.U.D'S actually provides motorcyclists when they're at their worst times?
Or when it comes to that financial need, if you have a rider injured, especially if they're out there and was an illness, an accident, or injury, the B.U.D'S Foundation, whenever financially possible, using donations or supplies, donations such as expenses with maybe their medical bills, or if they have utilities, or they need food, especially at a time of a repass or other types of support. Maybe there's some life necessities such as in mortgage or rent, and there are no other funds that are due when the family member has lost a loved one or the injured rider is out of work and they have exhausted all of their other resources. We believe that that awareness and safety also aligns with helping those that need that support and help at a time of need. And if there's an injured rider, there's also assistance, like maybe possible equipment, maybe medical equipment. You know, it's a fact that riders can experience some of the worst injuries, and their injuries can reflect just how much that they need, whether it's a wheelchair, whether it's crutches, medical bills, or items that they need. So what if they need a walker or a scooter or crutches or wheelchairs, or other medical equipment? You know, if we can attain it, or we can locate it, or we can get it loaned out or something, so however long that rider needs that item, then we will do that. That's a part of the assistance process as well. So someone can contact us, and if someone has items, or those items that they're willing to donate, and they're gently used or what have you like that, you know, we can get them take care of, clean, pick them up, or what have you. So those are some that they're good for injured rider. You just don't know to the point of what someone needs. And there's always that emotional support. So someone say we're good, We love to hear when people understand the value of having the right type of insurance, especially when you're riding. And if you lose a loved one, what type of insurance that needs to be left in place for a family? Whereas life insurance, with providing, with making sure that that wife or that husband that left behind doesn't have to suffer financial loss as well as losing you. So if those are things that many of them actually people have in place, and hats off to those families that think like that proactively. But we know in the aspect that our emotional support can be devastating, where somebody's going through an injury, they're like, I don't want to get back on again, or if they lose an arm or a leg, or um, so bad things such as those right there, and they're trying to get mentality up to even feeling confident enough about themselves again, or just wanting to ride. If a family member or child or someone loses a parent, it's an emotional trauma. So if you don't have that support in place, then we can definitely try to assist by providing support within that area, or locating a support group that can reach out and assist that family, even though, especially at times like this, with COVID and such, that we may or may not can be physically there. So we try to refer that emotional support. And there's a network of organizations, ministries, motorcycle ministry, motorcycle clubs who will reach out to offer support as well. So we are thankful for those ambassadors. The other thing that Buzz does is a funeral and memorial system. That's the word we always don't like to hear is funeral. We don't like to hear losing a loved one, but unfortunately, not only in our community, people are dying of illnesses, tragic things that are going on in our community, or someone losing their life while riding, or it could be a rider that had an experience of illness. A falling is falling. And so the foundation is always compassionate if someone loses their life and things are not in place. Because when it comes to sharing the need for everyone to have that life insurance, it's not always there. So when it comes to funerals or memorials, planning alone is overwhelming to a lot of people. So we have volunteers or insurance professionals who explain that process. And there are a lot of riders, there are insurance agents, doctors, and nurses. They will attest to this as well. So if you experience losing a loved one who have little to no insurance, it can cause additional stress. So if the funds are available, B.U.D'S Foundation can contribute to the cost of the funeral whenever financially possible. So those are a lot of needs that this organization has been doing. So someone could just go onto the website, and under the contact request that, assistance is needed, their name and number, and then have the family administrator or someone from the team to give them a call to see what it is that they would need, or the process they would need to do in order to obtain that assistance.
Now, what you just said has been an absolute mouthful. I mean, it's amazing all the stuff that you're able to do, or you've been able to do over the years. So tell me some of those driving factors. I remember like when I go to different events sometimes, I have ladies that come up to me and, they've been searching for motorcycle gear for like forever, right? And try to find something that fit their body and their curves just the right way. They're so excited. And when I see that, and when I see the look in their eyes, and they're like, finally something that fits, something that I can wear that keeps me safe, but doesn't have me looking like a guy, or just makes me feel good about myself. That's kind of my why. That's what kind of keeps me going on the days when it's like not so great, or you have everything going on. Those are the moments that actually help me kind of go to the next moment. Tell me about, how B.U.D'S actually started. What's your driving factor too?
Something that you just said is just aligns right along with what we've been talking about. Finding that right fit with the apparel is also finding that right fit for families, for riders, or organization that sincerely cares about them and wants to support them. So when we see the right fit, it may be a family who experienced a loss that is just so tragic. And every accident, illness, or fatality can be tragic in some type of way. What makes it the driving factor for myself and the team, I believe, is when the family comes along, or that rider comes along, or that child comes along of a fallen rider. I remember a young lady, she was only 7 or 8 years old, and we presented her with a box of Christmas items in memory of loss of her dad. And that just meant the world to her, because she was like, and my dad is still looking out for me. I'm like, wow, you know,
Mhm.
she could think of a good memory, because losing a parent even at that young age can be so devastating. And the fact that someone can come up to you and hug your neck, or a child, or a young man, a young boy, and then to hear these you 5, 6, 7 years later on still reach out to you and say, hey, Miss Tracy, how's everybody doing with Buzz, or what have you, like that, it means the world. We have youth that a sister and brothers that lost their parent, and all the kids were under 4 years old. And people think, well, oh, this child doesn't remember. They don't remember. If they seen it, or if it's impacted them any other way, such as being a couple of cases, then yeah, it can be devastating. I know I can remember things at 4 or 5 years old better than I can at 25 years. So we
Right.
wanted that support. And when you see that support, that just means the whole world. Or if there's a fall rider or injured a rider that loses a leg, just an example of a young man last month, and they could get the medical assistance to pay off a bill so they can continue getting further treatment. That means the world when you say, okay, we were able to assist you with this X amount of funds, and not even knowing that funds actually paid off that account for him, so he continue to get the prosthetic treatment that he needs for his third prosthetic. So a young lady that needed additional, not necessarily financial support, but the emotional support, because she didn't know how to go on with when having the loss of a leg. Um,
Mhm.
so and thank goodness that there are a lot of incidents, accidents that not as tragic, but they still can be just as emotional, devastating. But
Right.
there are riders out there, people that experience loss, and family members that experience losing a loved one. They don't want to see or be near um, a motorcycle. But once they see compassionate individuals in the community, such as the riders, the clubs, the ministries, the organizations such as B.U.D'S Foundation, they still had that belief of this community that gives. And that's what one another thing that was started out behind B.U.D., because uh, Marcellus was a rider, and he was a Marine, a person that gave. He gave of his last if he needed to. He was always helping. And so many individuals like yourself or what have you in the MC community that give. They give until they just can't give no more. And I think that's a lot of things people don't understand about the community, how giving they are. A lot of the events and support that families get after they arrive from um, riders. I seen it even during this pandemic time, where people are sacrificial, making an effort to support someone, making an effort to think beyond themselves. And that's
Mhm.
what we want to do, even though sometimes it's very hard to, and everybody goes through their own ordeal. But when you can reach out and help someone else, especially for those of us that have experienced a loss of losing a loved one like myself, or who have been who are experiencing injuries such as yourself, when you can reach above your circumstances to help someone else, it's an amazing and incredible feeling, and you don't realize how much blessed you can be in the process, emotionally and physically and spiritually, just by reaching and giving your hand out to someone else in need.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I recall you used to tell me about how Buds actually first was started and some of your first events. Tell me about this. I recall a story about someone knocking on doors for cans. Elaborate on that a little bit for me.
Actually, that was the first Fallen Riders fundraiser weekend. It was in 2011. We had two local families in the base area where it was found in Wilson, North Carolina. And these families had experienced losses October and November, left behind small children, and it was really, really tough on the family. And a really tough. Matter of fact, the wife wasn't working, so in one of the incident, the husband was the provider for the family. And
Hmm.
so we quickly kind of went beyond thinking about ourselves and went out into the community. And so we asked for, okay, we're just getting this started. So what can we do? They need food, they need Christmas, they need a bill pay. So we went door to door. We posted up a sign and on one of the areas in Wilson, a couple signs. We posted up boxes at the dealership in Wilson for Cyclemax, and we just went door to door, taking that step of faith and saying, hey, we showed our flyer advertising. We said, do you have $1 or one canned food or one gently used toy. We have some families that we want to help at this time. So we had neighbors and people in that area donating bicycles, refurbishing bikes. We toys that their kids were just bought but didn't want. Some toys were still in the box. Some people actually just went to the stores and bought new items. Some people just went to the grocery store and bought food. So we started getting bags of this and bags of that donated at drop-off sites, and we were able to bless those families way more than we thought we could have. And that was one of the really kickoffs for us. We're like, man, imagine how many more people are needing and thriving for this support, emotional support, financial support, and physical support at a time such as this. So when you can, of course, you don't want to try to erase anybody's memories of a loved one. You can't do that. You can't tell people how long to heal. And you can't tell people to get over it. That's the worst thing you can tell someone when they lose a loved one, because you want to let them know that you're there for them and listen to them. But being able to listen to those two families' hearts at the time and being able to drop the items off when they didn't think they would even have a way, being able to help someone be able to stay in their home, just, that meant the world to us. So that can and those dollars and those toys made a difference in two families, and we couldn't have been more excited for them.
Mm-hmm. Good. Awesome. Now, I've heard that you do a lot of stuff, obviously, for the motorcycle community, for folks who have actually gone down, for, all kinds of instances. So you can't obviously do this by yourself, but it's amazing that every time I hear about B.U.D.S, every time I think about B.U.D.S, the first person that comes to mind is you. But I know there's a lot of people around you that actually support you. Tell me about your team.
That's probably because I'm talking. And we all are talking in our own way, but we have a great support structure. The officers themselves, includes the Vice President India Hussey. She's been one of those that's been there from the one of the beginning stages of B.U.D.S, as well as Regina Purvis. A lot of people are in contact with Regina because when it comes to an injured or fallen rider, she's the person, pretty much the first point of contact. She's the one that you hear the voice on the other end of the phone, calling and encouraging and praying with families and what have you, and following back up with them and giving them, that support when needed, and letting them know, what ways or if at all possible that the foundation can help. So that's Regina. She's the family administrator. Mm-hmm. And as Jessica Purvis, she serves as our treasurer, and she has that quiet but gentle voice as well. And then there's Natasha Frazier, and she serves as the secretary as well. So along with myself and Vice President India Hussey. But the great part about this network is that we get support of so many great ambassadors from our host club to help us with our annual Fallen Riders event to the areas. It's beyond our 252 coalition that support. It's beyond our 919 area riders that support, and Johnson County, Wayne County is awesome as well. So we hats off to them, and all throughout North Carolina, Charlotte, and then outside of North Carolina, because we have reached out and helped 9 or 10 other states, family in Massachusetts, Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York, Florida, those places, South Carolina and Virginia and Maryland, for example. Those areas have had families that have reached out and requested and needed support. So a lot of times we started local and then pulled up to be able to offer support. So a lot of the aspects of that starting out came from individuals. One particular person just kind of pushed us out there at the beginning, that was Lewis Clark. So a lot of people know him as the Godfather. But Lewis Clark, we was in South Carolina in 2011, 2012, and he was the one that said, "Oh, just get out there and start talking." And we did, and amazingly, you had families that needed that support at that time. And as well as one of our first major events was with the Fallen Riders Day in Raleigh with the bosses, like 300 to 500 riders at the event. I remember Keith handing me the mic, and I said, "Well, you gonna tell them about B.U.D.S?" He said, "Oh no, this is your show." So he handed me the mic, and we just started talking away. So we've been out there as a team, and sometimes we had to separate, but that when it comes in the support of the ambassadors, even like in the Greenville area, we have our riders haven. They won't hesitate if someone's at the hospital there to go up there. They're like you. So it's good to know that where we can't be, someone else is there. So this team expands throughout, and it's a team of supporters, team of ambassadors, because everybody has one purpose in common. That's just to be a blessing to someone else. So we're very, very thankful for all these individuals and beyond for their support, as well as our sponsors and our board.
Excellent, excellent. No, it sounds like, again, you have a great community, a great community presence, and great community support around you. So I can see nothing but great things. So speaking of seeing things, what do you see from B.U.D'S future?
Oh wow, then that was the biggest question.
I know, right? Absolutely.
I can simply say this, that no matter where you see us physically or you hear from us, that people would know that in the future that B.U.D'S has been that organization that has strived to help those when they can't help themselves, to be that hand that reaches out, whether it's through social distancing or through a phone call or what have you like that. We still are here to support. So there we have definitely a lot of changes that will be made for the future. But like I said, we always want to leave this piece that, you know, we were there, we are here to support, and that, you know, we as an organization wanted to be the people that you know that you can receive a smile from, or a prayer, or just encouraging words. So our future just continue to be as a vision as those visionaries on missionaries who are there to show others that show other ones that what we always do, showing that we care. So we just have to see what else is in store.
Absolutely. So one other thing I know that B.U.D'S has really been doing over the past few years is actually contributing to education of our youth, right? And I've seen you do this in the form of scholarships. So tell me about your scholarships. I hear it's a little bit bigger and a little bit different this year.
That is so exciting to help these youth and these, well, because a lot of times the scholarship foundation scholarship program started off as helping youth. There was several youth that had lost their parents who, due to motorcycle accidents, incidents, or illnesses, and they were the parent that supplied for their financial. You know, everybody doesn't get scholarships, and everybody doesn't get grants or what have you. But if that family member, that mother or that father, was the financial backing, that can also be devastating, because one, they already lost their parents, so they may just feel like, you know, just not even going to school, just giving up, just quitting. But what the foundation is doing is there are scholarships from the B.U.D'S Foundation that goes under different names that we have donated to individuals, to families. Like this year, we have scholarships that start from 1,000. I didn't want to give out a number, but 1,000. So imagine being able to give away 7 to 10 or 5 to 7 scholarships to help someone. It's amazing. It doesn't just extend to children of fallen riders anymore. Could be children in the community. Our community is such at a need right now. People have lost jobs and trying to get back on their feet. And their youth that had every plan to go to college after graduating from high school this year, not even being able to have a ceremony, but yet at the same time, they're still able to move on, whether it's through online right now, or if some of them are on campus through social distancing. We came in as an organization and we decided to say, hey, we want to help as many youth as we can. So they simply just send in a video about themselves, what community means to them, or what their future means to them, fill out the application, and then be along the line of entries to receive the scholarship that's going to be announced on September the 12th. So it's an easy enrollment process to do. It always started behind the legacy, behind a person who believed in education. So we want to contribute that piece. If nothing else is done in supporting the injured and fallen riders, it's great to have that part there where you can help someone with that financial aspect. So they will have the encouragement, and they will have the belief that they still can make it. Do even behind the memory of their parent. Their parent will want them to continue their education, and some people don't want to go to a community college or a 4-year college. So maybe it's a technical school that you still need finance for. You need help with your books or tuition, what have you, like that. Just
Mm-hmm.
apply, simply fill out the application, and look forward to a good response, and request the application through the website. So they can go to B.U.D'S Foundation and request the application through contact us, and someone from the scholarship committee will send them the application. It's just that simple. It's the wonderful thing about being able to help someone again is helping them to keep their head above the water. So that's what we love in B.U.D'S.
Absolutely. And I love the idea that, it's evolving into something where they're submitting a video, going along with this virtual aspect in this very COVID world right now.
Yes.
So I hear there's something else that we're going to be doing virtually. So tell us about our September event. I know that our every year, one thing that I look forward to is actually being able to go to the Fallen Riders event that B.U.D'S sponsors, and really be able to interact and engage with the rest of our riders. And this year, we're taking it to another level, so to speak, and just kind of expanding our reach a little bit more. So I'm not going to tell it. I want you to
You
tell
can, but
it. I'm waiting for you to tell it because I just have to.
this year we were looking so forward to having the 10th annual Fall Around Us fundraiser weekend. And with the pandemics and everything that's going on right now, as we always talk about a safety, and we're always talking about awareness for on the road and in our community, we a couple months ago had to make the decision of not to have the event this year. So we were all anticipated. We were excited. We had our host clubs from Johnson County. We were going back to Smithfield, North Carolina, and believe it or not, guys, that is such a great area for an event. We were going back to Smithfield, sponsors in place, key people in place, the county in place, and our host clubs, Twist and Turn, Hook and Go, Street Stunners, Flying High Kings. We had the Dirty Boys coming down to assist us with, and just so many other organizations that was working with our hosts that we were really, really excited. But unfortunately, we couldn't have to. So we had to turn it around a little bit this year, everybody.
Right.
So we have an online event where coming together is a process, and it's always a process. Even for our community, we have the process where coming together, we can talk about our idea. We can talk about continuing awareness and safety. We can talk about key things in the community. So we have this great panelists that stem from people from all over various states. And we're going to go live with these awesome people in the MC community September the 10th, I believe. So they tell me I can work with events, but sometimes I get misled on dates. But I know on September the 10th, on that Thursday evening, around about 7 or 8 p.m., you can look forward and you'll see a lot of people going on live. You're going to hear these voices of some very key people in the community. And we're going to start promoting these individuals within the next week or so. So we're very excited. We're B.U.D'S Foundation coming together the process. Even throughout this pandemic, we still can strive to be able to find a way to support those that are in need in the community. And we think hearing from some of the individuals within the MC community is going to be a blessing. It's going to be educational, maybe a little funny, but you're definitely going to get some hardcore facts from these individuals. So we're excited about it. Thanks SportBike Chic while we're on the phone. Yes, I am. While we're talking, for being a part of this event. Thankful for some of the leaders, our host who's going to host it, Mr. Derek Mitchell, Scooter himself, and Candy Nunu Mitchell. So yes, I'm calling people names out. So we're excited about that, as well as our B.U.D'S team. We're looking forward to the individuals, even our panelists. Don't want to blow their whistle, but you're going to start seeing some live interviews with some of them and some of the individuals who are that we've been wanting to speak to as we continue to move forward up into that event. So I tell everybody to stay tuned, because coming together will be a process on Thursday, September the 10th. You know why Thursday? We can't come to you like we are right now on Saturday morning, because most people are probably out there trying to ride, and Thursday is a good time to just get the hearts and souls of these individuals. And then we're going to turn around on Saturday at 12th just take a few minutes. You won't see a bunch of us expected for the event, but someone's going to be there to hear Shelton's Harley Davidson in Smithfield, North Carolina, announce these scholarship winners. And boy, oh boy, that's going to be one of the most awesome times. So they're going to take a few minutes about 10 a.m. that morning, and they're going to make the announcement of the scholarships via live. And we're just looking forward to hearing these students hear their name on social media live, being the scholarship winners.
Absolutely. Again, I absolutely love what you're doing. Love your team, and I'm absolutely grateful to kind of know you and be a part of it. I think all the things that you do are right in alignment with what I love to be able to do as an organization, and I'm glad I'm able to partner with you to affect our community in such a positive way.
Absolutely.
Again, SportBike Chic is all about safety, all about style, all about fun. And that's why we have Miss Tracey over here. And she's really done an amazing job by promoting BU.D.S, by helping our community, by helping our fallen riders. And someone's going to be taking the Motorcycle Safety Foundation course soon.
There are several people that are, so stay tuned.
All right, Tracey. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for talking about BU.D.S, and thank you for all that you do for our community.
No, thank you. I appreciate being a part of this. I'm looking forward to us talking to some more individuals very soon. Thank you.
Absolutely. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.